Stories come in all kinds of types and with all the ideas you can imagine. But what about the stories that do have a huge ability to provoke all kinds of emotions in people? Some would say that these stories are the best and the most special of them all. Others would claim that these stories are far from good or special. One way or another, this is the story that does matter. This is the story you have to see in order to believe. There are many elements here that you will be amazed at, and you will want to know all the details that made this happen and made it possible. Well, now you can see all of this from the first hand, and you can only imagine what will happen in the end. Without further ado, let's begin with the story that will change many lives and so much more. Meet Ruth and Jonathan Scully, a delightful married couple residing in the heart of the United States. Their life is like a comforting melody, filled with happiness and contentment. Both Ruth and Jonathan have steady jobs that not only support their family, but also allow them to cherish the simple pleasures of life. Their days are filled with shared laughter, quiet moments, and the joy of knowing they have everything they need. Ruth, with her warm smile, and Jonathan, with his caring demeanor, make a perfect pair, building a life together that's as sturdy as the foundation of their steady jobs. But they have something even better. Now, let's turn our attention to the heartwarming center of the Scully family, Nolan. At the tender age of 3, Nolan is a bundle of energy, strength, and intelligence. His days are filled with the unbridled joy of play as he explores the world around him with an insatiable curiosity. Whether it's building block towers, playing make-believe, or chasing after colorful butterflies, Nolan embraces each moment with enthusiasm. Nolan's parents beam with pride as they watch their son grow and thrive. He's not just strong, but also remarkably clever for his age. But then this happened. As Nolan's 3rd birthday approached, a subtle shift occurred in the harmony of the Scully household. What was once filled with the laughter of a carefree toddler at play now included an unexpected tune, a peculiar snoring sound that echoed through the night. Alongside this unusual snoring, Nolan began to experience persistent coughing. Concerned for their son's well-being, Ruth and Jonathan faced a parental dilemma. The once clear path of playdates and bedtime stories now veered into the unfamiliar territory of doctor visits and medical consultations. But all will be fine. Kids get these symptoms all the time. Right? Not exactly. Concern deepened in the Scully household when Nolan's unusual snoring and persistent coughing persisted. Seeking answers, Ruth and Jonathan took him to the doctor, hoping for a straightforward solution. The doctor diagnosed Nolan with a sinus infection, a common ailment in children that can be treated with antibiotics. Initial relief washed over the Scullys as they followed the prescribed medication, believing that Nolan would soon return to his playful self. However, despite the antibiotics, Nolan's condition took an unexpected turn. The once promising remedy seemed unable to break the grip of his symptoms. They had to step up. This is where all started to change. Enter the specialist, a beacon of hope for the Scully family. Concerned for Nolan's well-being, Ruth and Jonathan sought the expertise of a specialist who approached the situation with fresh eyes. The examination took a different path, focusing on Nolan's sinuses, ears, and nose. To their dismay, the specialist discovered severe swelling, pointing to a more complex issue. The specialist's diagnosis opened a new chapter in Nolan's health journey, prompting the family to brace themselves for what lay ahead. As the specialist outlined a more comprehensive treatment plan, Ruth and Jonathan clung to the hope that this approach would help. See, something must be done. But what? You won't believe this. The decision was made. Nolan would undergo surgery. The atmosphere in the hospital was tense as the Scullys anxiously awaited the outcome. The surgical procedure aimed to alleviate the severe swelling in Nolan's sinuses, ears, and nose. The operation, fraught with uncertainty, held the promise of a healthier future for the young boy. In a twist of fate, the surgery proved successful. Nolan emerged from the operation on the path to recovery, surrounded by the relieved smiles of his parents. Little did the Scullys know that the doctor had stumbled upon something unexpected during the operation, something that would alter the course of their story in ways they couldn't anticipate. The revelation following Nolan's surgery cast a shadow over the Scully family as they received the unexpected diagnosis. Nolan had rhabdomyosarcoma. This rare and aggressive form of cancer originates in the soft tissues, such as muscles, and can affect children like Nolan. Rhabdomyosarcoma, though uncommon, poses a significant challenge due to its rapid growth and potential to spread to other parts of the body. The term rhabdomyosarcoma became a part of their daily vocabulary, a formidable opponent. What is the cure for this type of cancer, and how would doctors save Nolan? The news grew grimmer as the Scullys navigated the complexities of rhabdomyosarcoma. Distressingly, medical professionals conveyed that there was no known cure for this particular type of cancer. Doctors, despite their expertise and dedication, found themselves grappling with the limitations of medical science. The absence of a cure left Ruth and Jonathan in a state of profound uncertainty. They confronted the heart-wrenching reality that the road ahead was uncertain, filled with challenges that no family should have to endure. There is not much doctors can do, and this is a bad thing. But there is one thing that makes all of this even worse. Amidst the turmoil of Nolan's health battle, Ruth faced an additional layer of complexity. She was pregnant. The joyous expectation of bringing a new life into the world was overshadowed by the heavy clouds of despair. Ruth found herself grappling with conflicting emotions as the weight of Nolan's illness pressed heavily on her shoulders. Depression and sadness became constant companions, casting a pall over what should have been a joyous time. The joy of pregnancy was tinged with worry and uncertainty, as Ruth struggled to balance the anticipation of new life with the harsh reality of Nolan's health crisis. Anyway, doctors had to do something for Nolan, and they did. Faced with the challenges of rhabdomyosarcoma, the primary recourse available to the Scullys was chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is a powerful medical treatment that utilizes drugs to target and destroy rapidly dividing cancer cells. While it can be effective in halting the progression of cancer, chemotherapy often comes with side effects due to its impact on both cancerous and healthy cells. In Nolan's case, chemotherapy became the frontline defense against rhabdomyosarcoma. The treatment aimed to thwart the growth of cancer cells, offering a glimmer of hope in the face of a formidable adversary. However, the road to recovery through chemotherapy is not without its trials, as the Scullys would soon discover. The hospital became a second home for the Scully family as Nolan embarked on his journey through chemotherapy. Amid the sterile walls and the hum of medical equipment, Ruth and Jonathan stood steadfast by Nolan's side, determined to support him through every step of the challenging treatment. The treatment plan called for an extended stay, stretching into months. Nolan's hospital room became a sanctuary where hope and resilience faced off against the relentless grip of cancer. The medical team worked tirelessly, administering the 43 doses of chemotherapy needed to combat rhabdomyosarcoma. But his mother did something remarkable. In the midst of adversity, Ruth Scully found solace in the power of connection and shared strength. To keep friends, family, and well-wishers informed about Nolan's journey, she took to social media. Ruth started a Facebook page titled Nolan Strong, a digital space where she shared updates, milestones, and the emotional highs and lows of Nolan's battle against cancer. Nolan Strong quickly became a beacon of hope and support for the Scully family. It not only served as a platform to disseminate information, but also became a community where words of encouragement and prayers poured in from near and far. The whole life this child had one dream, and now it will become a reality. As Nolan's story unfolded on the Nolan Strong Facebook page, the community rallied around the Scully family. Strangers and neighbors alike were touched by Nolan's journey and wanted to contribute in any way they could. The outpouring of support materialized not just in well wishes, but also in the form of donated money and toys for Nolan. Word of Nolan's battle reached the ears of the entire city. One day, a surprise visitor arrived at the hospital, the police chief himself. In a heartwarming ceremony, the police chief made Nolan an honorary police officer, fulfilling a dream that had glimmered in Nolan's young eyes. The badge of honor adorned Nolan's hospital gown. But this is not all. Following the touching gesture by the police department, the city's firefighters were not to be outdone. The very next day, a team of firefighters, donned in their distinctive gear, arrived at the hospital. In a similar spirit of compassion and solidarity, they made Nolan an honorary firefighter officer, complete with a miniature helmet and a sense of belonging to a courageous brotherhood. Nolan, now Officer Nolan and Firefighter Nolan, radiated joy as he reveled in the support and recognition from those who often wore uniforms symbolizing bravery and service. The hospital room, once a place of medical routines, now echoed with the laughter and camaraderie of a community united by a shared purpose. Amidst the gestures of support and the newfound titles bestowed upon Nolan, a poignant moment unfolded. One day, Ruth, overwhelmed by the acts of kindness surrounding her son, sat beside Nolan and asked, "Why are you doing all of this, sweetheart?" With a sincerity that only a child's heart could convey, Nolan looked at his mother and replied, "Because of you, Mommy." In those simple words, Nolan revealed the depth of his gratitude and love. In the face of uncertainty, Nolan found strength not just within himself, but also in the love and care of those who rallied around him, turning a challenging chapter into a story of hope and resilience. Then, Ruth said something that broke her heart. You won't believe these words. The weight of reality pressed heavily on Ruth's heart when she received disheartening news about Nolan's condition. In a moment of vulnerability, she felt the sting of helplessness, and tears welled in her eyes. Summoning the strength to speak, she gently told Nolan, "I can't protect you here. I can only protect you in heaven. I know you are in pain, but you are strong." Facing the painful truth, Ruth acknowledged the limitations of her earthly capabilities. In those poignant words, a mother's love and the acceptance of a harsh reality coexisted, creating a bittersweet moment that captured the essence of the difficult journey they were on. Then, she had to do something, which was a huge mistake. Overwhelmed by the intensity of her emotions, Ruth found herself unable to contain the tears that threatened to spill over. In an effort to gather her composure, she stepped outside the hospital room, seeking a moment of solace away from the watchful eyes within. The corridor became a temporary refuge as Ruth grappled with the tumultuous feelings surging within her. Minutes passed, marked by the echoes of her silent tears. Determined to return with a brave face for her son, Ruth took a deep breath and, with a heavy heart, re-entered the room. Though shaken, she carried with her the resilience needed to face the inevitable. When she enters the room, nothing will be the same. Inside the hospital room, the air hung heavy with the impending finality. Doctors, their expressions solemn, shared the difficult reality with Ruth. Nolan had entered a deep sleep from which he wouldn't awaken. The gravity of the moment settled over the room, leaving a palpable stillness. The medical team, having exhausted all available options, delivered the heartbreaking truth. There was nothing more they could do. The room became a sacred space where the fragility of life met the unwavering resolve of love, marking the poignant end of Nolan's brave battle against an adversary too formidable to overcome. Then, the miracle happened. In a twist that felt nothing short of miraculous, Nolan defied the expectations that hung heavily in the air. All of a sudden, as if guided by an unseen force, Nolan's eyes fluttered open. The room, once steeped in the heavy silence of anticipated finality, was now charged with an unexpected energy. A collective gasp echoed through the space as the impossible transpired. Nolan woke up. The sudden awakening sparked a glimmer of hope that danced in the air, leaving everyone in awe of the resilience that Nolan exhibited. It was a moment that defied medical logic, turning the narrative of an impending end into an unexpected chapter of renewed possibilities. As Nolan looked at his mother with eyes that seemed to carry the weight of a lifetime, he uttered words that transcended the boundaries of spoken language. "I love you," he said, the simplicity of the phrase carrying a profound depth. In those 3 words, Nolan encapsulated a universe of emotion, expressing a love that surpassed the constraints of time and circumstance. The room, filled with the hushed reverence of witnessing a poignant exchange, held space for a mother's love and a child's enduring spirit. Those last words lingered in the air, etching a poignant memory that would forever be cherished in the hearts of those who bore witness. There are a few things you have to see. You won't believe these. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow that filtered through the hospital room, the reality of the final day settled in. Despite the miraculous awakening, the journey had reached its inevitable crossroads. The medical team, with a heavy heart, conveyed the somber truth. There was nothing more they could do. It was a moment of profound acceptance, where the finality of Nolan's brave battle became the poignant conclusion of a story that had touched the hearts of all who had followed his remarkable journey. Wait to see how the city reacted to all of this. In the midst of Nolan's final days, a poignant wish emerged from the depths of his heart. He desired to see the entire city adorned in red, accompanied by the uplifting sounds of happy music. A wave of solidarity swept through the community, and on a designated day, people donned vibrant red attire, transforming the city into a sea of love and support. From street corners to workplaces, the resonance of happy music filled the air, a testament to the power of unity and collective compassion. The heartfelt tribute left a lasting impression on Nolan and those who participated, creating a colorful tapestry of love that transcended the somber reality. As a final tribute to Nolan's bravery and resilience, the firefighters and police force orchestrated a heartfelt parade in his honor. Sirens wailed, and red and blue lights danced in harmony as a procession of fire trucks and police cars made its way through the city streets. The community gathered along the route, waving flags and expressing gratitude for the indomitable spirit of Officer Nolan. It was a parade not just of vehicles, but of love, a collective acknowledgement of a young boy's courage that had touched the hearts of an entire city. It was the saddest day for the whole city, but it also was the most spectacular day that all the people there will ever see. In a symbolic gesture that echoed Nolan's dream of becoming a police officer, the police chief bestowed upon him the honorary title of Sergeant Roland Nolan during the parade. A badge, gleaming with significance, was pinned to Nolan's hospital gown. The image of Nolan, proudly wearing the badge, captured a moment frozen in time. This is proof of the strength and determination that defined his journey. Sergeant Roland Nolan became more than a title. It embodied a legacy of courage, resilience, and the enduring spirit of a young soul who faced adversity with grace. The photograph of Nolan with the badge became an enduring symbol, ensuring that his memory would forever live on in the hearts of those who had been touched by his extraordinary story. Did you like this touching and surprising story? If so, we invite you to leave us a comment expressing your opinion. If you want to continue enjoying inspiring stories like this one, subscribe to our channel or check out the other videos shown at the bottom of the screen. Thank you for your cooperation,